Yo, what's up? So, this is an experiment I'm doing. I need to practice my English speaking because I haven't spoken much English recently. Speaking, I don't know. And so I'm playing Ultrakill because I'm currently addicted to this game. I've been P-ranking all the levels, as you can see. If you don't know what P-ranking is, it's basically playing perfect or close to perfection and you can't die. And yeah, so I want to practice my English and I want to P-rank some levels. I've been close to it and I'm just gonna yap as I play, and I'm terrible at this game, so please don't judge me. And yeah, so let's play some. So what I'm gonna yap about, I don't know, let's talk about maybe a controversial topic like relationships. Yeah, everyone loves relationships, or at least they pretend they do. To be honest, I don't remember the pathway of this level. I've seen gameplay of this game like 1,000 times, but I don't know where to go. So yeah, if I'm correct, you just gotta feed the tree. So yeah, relationships. What about it? I've been in relationships a few times in my life, and I know people like to talk about relationships, and it attracts content and viewers. So yeah, that's why I'm selecting this topic because I want to see if this video gets any attention. This is an experiment, like I've said. Where do I go? No, actually, where do I go? Didn't I come from here? No. And yeah, so my experience with relationships in my life. Now, I'm a Brazilian, so some of this reality might not be familiar to some of you. Yeah, I came from here. I'm completely lost. And I've had, I'd say, two mostly good relationships and one mostly bad relationship. So yeah, I've got a little bit of experience, and I've messed around and had my time with some people with not very serious relationships. What I can say is relationships are trash. Don't get into a relationship if you can. Maybe live your life first and then get into a relationship, like get money and get a, I don't know, get a job, then you get into a relationship. Let's pretend that didn't happen. I'm gonna restart the level until I P-rank it. It's very hard to play while talking, so yeah, you're gonna probably see me die a lot. And I haven't played in a few days, so I'm pretty rusty. So yeah, I think if you're young, under your 20s, I know society like has this kind of pressure that everyone seems to be getting into relationships, and then you're starting to become an adult and you gotta be mature, and it's kind of bad because I feel like people start to give relationships a lot more importance than they actually have, and you should definitely focus on yourself first. Now, if you find someone cool and you mess with each other and you have compatibility, then sure, get into it. But you shouldn't lose focus of your life because of relationships. I've done that before. Uh, like the problem was, it's not that I started giving importance to my life. It's that I gave too much importance to the relationship, and that started being an excuse to doing everything in my life. So I would, oh god, I would just base all my motivation on my relationship, and that started messing with me because when I got out of the relationship, I didn't have motivation to do anything, and I fell into a depressive spiral. So yeah, be careful with that. Make sure um, to not just put all your expectations into the relationship. Like, oh, why am I doing why am I in a graduation? Oh, because I'm in a relationship and I want to make my partner happy. No, don't do that. You're in a graduation because you want to finish the graduation and your you like what you're studying. And yeah, that's one thing about relationships. And so what else? I had a really big problem in my relationships, that I'm a very unique person in the fact that I'm not very clingy. So I tend to like to have my own space more than most people. And so what happened was my girlfriend would want more attention than I could give her because I wanted to have my own private space. And they would get upset because I wouldn't talk to them for many hours because I was too occupied, or I wanted some time to play and, I don't know, hang out with my friends. Yeah, there's that expectation issue, because if the person you're with expects you to be with them for a longer period of time and you can't do that, then your relationship is not gonna end up well. Someone's gonna have to change, and if that someone isn't you and isn't them, you have a conflict. Oh my god, they're fighting each other. I forgot they did this on standard. I think on brutal they only fight you or something. I don't know. I only play on standard because I'm bad at this game. So yeah. And you gotta be very careful with that kind of stuff, because that's the main issue with relationships. It's expectations. People expect you to do something, and then you end up doing what you think you have to do and not what they actually want you to do. So yeah, be careful with that. And the thing is, it's very hard as a young person to understand that, and it's very hard as a young person to find the how can I say, the correct balance between what is a healthy expectation, so what the person expects you to do and that you actually should do, and what is something that the person expects you to do that you don't necessarily have to do, and they have to learn to also impose their own limits and respect your barriers. It's very hard to find the balance, especially when you're not mature enough and you don't have the frontal lobe of your brain completely developed. And there are many characteristics that can influence that. Oh, by the way, classic, 2 street cleaners around the corner. If you play Ultrakill, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's a very hard thing to do, even with adults that are very mature. But if you can manage that, then you probably can have a healthy relationship. But if you have different priorities, which can happen if you are in a crucial part of life, like university, or if, let's say for example, one person of the relationship is in their graduation and the other is working already. They finished their graduation and they're working. What can happen is one person might have more time than the other, and so one person might be disappointed when they want to do something and the other can't, and you know how it goes. So that's a thing I went through, because I had an internship and my girlfriend didn't. So I studied and I went to my internship. Oh my god, where's this enemy? Why is there music? And she had a lot of problems with me because I didn't give her enough time, because I didn't have enough time to give her. The little time I had, usually I would wanna like to spend doing my own thing, to not go crazy with my internship and my graduation at the same time. And when I did have time with her, she didn't find it enough. No. That happened because she wasn't a very healthy person mentally, and she had a little bit of an emotional dependence with me, I will say. In fact, she had that with all her relationships before me. But that can happen, you know? So you gotta be careful, especially in this stage of life where people can live very different lives. Some can be very occupied, some can have a lot of time and go to a lot of parties. There can be a lot of expectation. I'm gonna die. Holy shit. And yeah, that messes with relationships. Sorry, had to lock in a bit. And yeah, I found that to be a very big issue to me. Another thing that was an issue to me was stress. I had a lot of stress in my relationship because I felt the need that I had to take care of my girlfriend in many ways, because her parents didn't take care of her in many ways. So I kind of had an expectation that I put on myself to be doing things for her that her parents didn't do for her, which was not something I should have been doing, but they did, and I'm very altruistic, so I ended up doing that. And yeah, that messed with our relationship a lot. Wait, it's already over? I thought this gauntlet was a lot bigger. What do you mean? Okay, that's not fast enough, so let's go again. And yeah, that can be a really big problem. Really big problem if you're trying to take if you're trying to take a responsibility that's not yours, that's gonna make you feel like you have a lot of weight on you, and you're gonna stop blaming yourself, which is gonna lead to you letting yourself down on expectations you put on yourself because you wanted to do something that was not your responsibility. And yeah, so a big thing in relationships is knowing how to manage what's your responsibility and what is the person's responsibility, and their family's responsibilities. Like, you gotta know how to separate things. That's a really big issue with modern relationships, because we're a messed up generation. Many people have problems with their families, and they seek to solve those problems with relationships. Oh my god, why did I do that? Please don't look at me playing. Says the person recording their gameplay. And yeah, be careful with that. Oh, I can use the jump start here. Wait, give me a second. Look at this. Electricity! Yeah! Didn't really work. Oh, now it worked. So, another big problem I had with my relationships was my friends. I had a very close group of friends, and my girlfriend didn't like them. Now, you may ask yourself, why didn't your girlfriend like them? Was there perhaps another girl in your group of friends that made her jealous? No. Was there perhaps someone in your group of friends that didn't like your girlfriend? No. So why didn't she like them? That's because my girlfriend was someone that wanted much more attention than I could give her, because she had many problems with attention in her family. She had 2 sisters, and her parents didn't give her enough attention, and they gave her sister a lot more attention than her, which led to many problems. So yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to balance your social life in a way that you give your friends enough attention and your girlfriend enough attention and your family enough attention. You don't have to give only one group of your life much attention. And I know that sounds completely logic and, oh, you're just saying what's obvious, but it isn't. People mess that up every time, and it's something so simple that everyone comprehends, but they keep messing up. So you gotta tell yourself that. And that's something I messed up on my first relationships. Now, I was 18, I'm 21 now, so I grew up and I matured a lot, but I still messed up. Wasn't this supposed to open? Wasn't there supposed to be a gutter tank here or something? I'm completely lost on this level. I'm going over the walls when I shouldn't. Yeah! I wasn't crazy. So yeah. Managing expectations, managing time between social interactions and social circles, that's a big part of relationships. And that messes up. that messes up stuff. So if you don't do that, your relationship's gonna fail. And you don't want to do that. You don't want that to happen because you probably like the person you're with. And if you don't, then you probably shouldn't be in the relationship. I hate the mind flayers in this game. I think everyone does. I like to do this. And everyone explodes. If you never played Ultrakill, you're probably watching this and thinking, what the fuck is going on? Don't worry, this game is like this. And it's very cool once you understand what's happening. And it's very addicting. Now, coming back to the topic of relationships, I'd say those are the three main parts of having a healthy relationship. You gotta manage your time with the person and the social circle you're in. You gotta manage the expectations of yourself on what you have to do with your partner, and the expectations of your partner on what you have to do to make them happy. And what was the third one again? Oh yeah, maturity, I'd say. You gotta have maturity. You don't have to create problems when there aren't problems. Like, I had a really big issue that my girlfriend, and that was because she had to go to therapy. She wasn't well, doing well of her head. So yeah, she needed therapy, and that messed up with our relationship a lot. Now, I'm not the most mentally stable person, but I do therapy, and I did therapy. Yo, Ultrakill, hype! Before a relationship, so I was arguably more healthy than her. What happened was, she dumped a lot of stuff for me. And so, yeah, we ended up having a very complicated relationship. I say it was a good one, because we loved each other very much, but it didn't end well. Oh my god, can you die, bro? How much health do you have? Please! Okay, thank you. I forgot what I was saying. My bad. This game is chaotic, man. Don't judge me. So... oh my god, I'm not gonna die to blood mannequins, am I? Guys, can you please come to the tree? Thank you. Where are they? Oh my god, they're so hard to see. And yeah, you gotta have maturity to not create problems that aren't there. Let's go, P-Rank. I'm not gonna do the challenge, and I'm not gonna hunt for the secrets. I don't have the patience to do that. At least not right now. Maybe after I P-Rank the entire game on Standard and Brutal. Because after I finish Standard, I'm going to Brutal. So yeah, my girlfriend used to create a lot of problems where there weren't any. Like, for example, let me think of one. I go to a party with my friends, and now you might be thinking, oh, what are you doing going to parties with your friends and not taking your girlfriend if you're in a relationship? I see where you're going, but it's not like I just went to the parties without her consent. I would talk to her and be like, oh, are you okay with me going to this party? And don't worry, I'm gonna contact you, and I'm not gonna leave you hanging. If you wanna call me, you can call me. And when I arrive from the party, I will tell you. And don't worry, and all that. And so I would do everything to make her feel comfortable. Eventually, she would be like, yeah, okay, you can go. And if eventually she said, no, I don't want you to go, I'm gonna feel very insecure. No matter what you do, no matter what you say to me, then I would just not go to the party, because that's the respectable thing to do. That created issues, because sometimes she would lie to me, because she wouldn't want to let me down. So she would say, oh, you can go to the party, when she wasn't actually comfortable with me going to the party. And then she would be upset after I came back from the party, and we would end up getting into a discussion because of something that she should have fucking told me. And the other way around would happen, where she would tell me to not go to the party, I would be like, oh, okay, since you're feeling uncomfortable, I'm not going to the party. I don't want to upset my girlfriend. That's like the logical thing to do. Wait, let me lock in. So yeah, but what would end up happening is that I wouldn't go to the party to respect my girlfriend's boundaries, and then my friends would be upset at me because I didn't go to the party and I heard her instead of convincing her to go to the party. So yeah, you can see that my friends didn't have much maturity on that regard, and I respect them because I know they just wanted my company and all that. But if my girlfriend is not feeling comfortable, oh, it's just a stupid insecurity. Yeah, it's just a stupid insecurity because she thinks I'm gonna cheat on her, something I would never do. But she's insecure because her previous boyfriends did that to her. So it's fair that she expects that to happen. She's a traumatized person. You gotta understand that, man. So yeah, both parties were not very mature, and that led to many conflicts between me, my girlfriend, and my friends. My friends eventually grew apart from me when I was in that relationship, which led to me having to discuss with them a lot and discuss with my girlfriend a lot. I'm saying discuss, but not in a bad way, like actually talk in a constructive way to solve the problem. And yeah, it was very stressful, but eventually I managed to talk with my friends that I would respect her boundaries, but I would also not give in so easily. Like, there were periods of time where I would stop seeing my friends for a month to respect my girlfriend's boundaries, and like, my friends want to see me, they like me, and I like them too. So yeah, she should also give in a little bit, and I maybe was a little too careless on that and gave in too much on what she wanted without taking into consideration what my friends wanted. Maybe because I was blindly in love with her. I can't believe I missed that. You did not see me miss that shot. Maybe, but it happens, you know. If you've ever been in love, you know what I'm talking about. It's normal. You end up prioritizing your partner more than yourself. So yeah, you gotta know how to balance things out, how to manage expectations of the parties taking part of your life, to not get them upset at you. So yeah, just remembering what we've just said. What are the three main pillars of having a relationship in our society? I'd say, first of all, maturity and knowing how to balance expectations of people around your life with your relationship. Now, of course, you're not gonna do everything you're told just because your family or your friends do, but at some point you gotta take their opinion into consideration if you wanna have a healthy relationship with them, and the same thing goes for a relationship. The second thing, managing expectations of you and your partner. What to expect from the relationship. Please stop. Sorry. I had to go silent for a bit because I hate these guys. Probably top 2 enemies I hate the most in this game. And yeah, manage expectations, have maturity to balance time, and have maturity to balance time you spend with the different people in your life. And finally, oh god, I'm doing this, that I talk about the 3 things, and I forget the 3rd, and then I have to talk about it again, because it's hard playing and talking at the same time, man. So yeah, I forgot the first one that I talked about. I don't remember what it was. If you remember, props to you, because I don't. So I'm just gonna move on like nothing happened. Can't I shoot this shit? Do I really have to kill this motherfucker? Okay. And yeah, those are the 3 main problems in relationships, I'd say. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, if you know all that and you're ready for a relationship and all that, why aren't you in one? Because people don't want to be in a relationship with me, and it happens, you know. Oh yeah, I gotta kill those. It happens, you know. Sometimes people just don't find you attractive, and if they don't talk to you because we have a tendency of women not talking to men. Yes, I identify myself as a man. Not quite, actually. I'm questioning some stuff. But for now, I'd say, yeah, man. I'm a male. And so what happens is, most of the people I've tried to have something with after my last actual relationship either didn't want to have a relationship with me and just wanted to have like someone to hook up with and stick around for some time. And I have a story about that, but I'm gonna leave that one for another day. Or they just didn't want anything with me, period, I'd say. And there were times where people wanted something, at least I think they did, and then I'd like, how am I gonna break that shit if... Okay, that's messed up. So I started breaking... Okay, parentheses. You have to break those statues to progress in these levels. If you don't know, you probably do, because you're watching this video about Ultrakill and relationships. And if you don't destroy those statues in a certain amount of time, blood or water, I don't know, starts rising up and you die. Now here's what happened. I was breaking the statues, not at a big speed. You might have noticed, because I'm not a good player. But I started breaking the statues from the ones that were higher above and left the first one for last, which is dumb. But what's dumber is that the water started rising and I started bouncing on the water, because you do that on this game, on lava, not necessarily on water. But if you hit a plane in like the mathematical sense that you shouldn't be hitting, you bounce on it. Where are the platforms? So yeah, I bounced on the fucking water and I couldn't get to the statue, which led to me dying without being able to do anything, which is cool level design, I'd say. Again, it was my fault, so close parentheses. I'm gonna stop talking about Ultrakill and talk about relationships. And yeah, I had this one time recently, like a few weeks ago, that I started to get involved with this person, and she actually came up to me. I didn't came up to her, which was like, holy shit, this is like a once in a lifetime accomplishment. This never happens because women never talk to men. So yeah, she came to me, she reached me out through Instagram, and we started talking. And what happened is, we went out, and we were starting to be pretty close, I'd say. Now, I'm very emotional, so I get attached easily, which is not good in a time where people don't really care about what others feel, most of the time. And what happened is, I thought we were getting very close. The reality was, we went out, and after our first date, which she told me she liked, and I really liked, and everything was great, at least from my point of view, and from what she told me, which probably was a lie, because it doesn't make sense what she did after that. What happened was... Oh my god. What happened was... she started stopping to text me. She started ignoring me and ghosting me for apparently no reason, because I was treating her good. She said she was interested in me multiple times. Is there any enemy? No. And out of nowhere, this girl stops answering me. Oh yeah, you can reflect that. My bad. And I don't know why. I don't know what I did wrong, man. And that messes up. That is messed up. That messes up with your head. Because at one point you're like, oh, this girl actually likes me. This girl reached out to me. Fuck. This girl reached out to me because she's interested. And all that. And oh, I probably have a good chance. And this probably can become something serious. Because she looked like a serious person from our conversation. She didn't look like someone who was just looking for a momentarious, that I don't think the word exists, for a, how can I say, something that isn't permanent, like She wasn't looking for a stable relationship. She was looking to hook up. That's what I'm trying to say. She was not trying to hook up. God, I'm terrible at formulating sentences. That's what it seemed. But in reality, it wasn't, because she stopped talking to me. And yeah, I'm sure most of you, I don't know if most, but at least some of you have been ghosted before. And you know how it feels. It's terrible. It's annoying, because you start to think to yourself, what the fuck did I do wrong? Like, what could have I done different for this not to happen? The thing is, oh my god, my voice just cracked so hard. The thing is, you couldn't have done shit different. The problem is not with you, probably. Now, there are cases that the problem is you. And I don't know, each case, each situation is different. Oh my god, I'm gonna die to this. No, I'm not. So, but mostly, when someone is ghosted, either they're an asshole, or they did something that was kind of messed up and the person didn't like, and they lost interest, or the person was someone that wasn't really sure of what they wanted, and midway through the process of building the relationship, they changed their mind and decided they didn't want to have anything. They were already dead. I was shooting them. They didn't want to have anything anymore. So yeah. Now, why am I saying this? Because that goes back to exactly one. I can't shoot Maurice's with the rocket launcher. I'm dumb. Unless I put them on fire. But I like to do this. That goes back to one of the 3 pillars I told you before of relationships. That are, you gotta be sure of what you want and what to expect of your partner and vice versa. So, managing expectations. That's the one she messed up, because I think, I don't have direct confirmation of this because she didn't tell me. She completely disappeared. I think that she wasn't sure if she wanted a relationship. She wasn't sure if she wanted a relationship with me or with anyone else, maybe, I don't know. These specifics don't matter. But the thing is, she probably wasn't sure what she wanted, and that's the point. She may have had maturity. She may have been in terms of managing her time and knowing what to expect. But I'm shooting the wrong thing, man. I'm done. I'm not gonna P-Rank this now. And she did have 2 of the 3 pillars nailed down, but the 3rd one didn't, and she ended up hurting someone because of it. Me. No, I'm not saying, oh, I'm hurt and I'm depressed. No, that didn't really mess with me because I've been through a lot of stuff with relationships and girls. But it's annoying, man. It's annoying, and if you're not doing very well mentally, it can mess with you. So yeah, that's an example of what you shouldn't do. Like, if you're unsure about your expectations, about what you want, and you're afraid you might hurt someone because you don't know what you want and you're maybe not ready for a relationship, then it's best for you to not get involved in one. If you do end up getting involved in one, and that's where that story that I said I was gonna talk about later comes in. Even if you're not sure about what you want and you end up getting involved in one anyways, then you gotta communicate to the person. You gotta say, look, I'm not sure. Maybe I want this, maybe I don't. And the other person has to understand that. And if they end up getting themselves involved with you, then they're taking a risk. And they gotta understand the risk. So yeah, that's the thing. That's one example. I'm too slow, man. You can one cycle this boss if you're quick enough, and then you can skip this phase, and you don't have to dodge through the lasers. Currently, I'm not really dodging. Oh, it's down. The barrier's down. No! Shit. This level is harder than I thought. It looks so easy when people play it. Anyways. What was he saying? I forgot. So yeah, those are the 3 pillars. That's an example of how you can violate one of those pillars and mess up. So communicate. If you're not sure about something, if you communicate, you might end up hurting someone. It's no shame in going back. And if the person doesn't understand what you're saying, oh, give me a second.